Laker Nation, welcome to the Lake Show. Like, comment, share, subscribe. But let's get into the game, man. An impressive win for the Lakers, snapping their two-game losing streak against the OKC Thunder, and a 112 victory, 112 to 105 victory for the Lakers over the OKC Thunder, man. A top two seed in the West. This is an impressive win with how lethargic and pathetic our Lakers have looked. This is a really impressive win, and it shows that if the Lakers play up to the level that they should be playing up to, the team that got to the Western Conference Finals last season, that they can beat any team. I'm not scared of OKC. I think we match up physically well with them, especially if Chet is playing the center position. I think AD will cook him. I'm not worried about that, and we'll see how things go if we meet up with them in the playoffs. But impressive win nonetheless, Laker Nation. Once again, the Lakers win against OKC, 112 to 105, snapping their two-game losing streak. So let's get into it, man. The Lakers, this is by far the best that I've seen them against an elite team offensively. The ball was flowing, bodies were moving schematically. The ball was, players were moving offensively. They were actually running sets more consistently. They were posting up D'Lo. I like to see bigger guards post up against smaller guards, and it was creating a lot of mismatches for D'Lo and the Lakers. You have Rui, AD, Seawood, etc. Crashing the boards when Chet or whoever else would come over to double. AD was moving the ball really well while he was getting double teamed as well. Players were cutting LeBron, etc. This goes to show you when the Lakers play more cohesive and they're moving balls and moving the ball on their bodies. They makes it harder for the opposing team to guard, and that's the whole point of basketball. This is by far the best, fundamentally sound, basic fucking basketball, which is the way the game is supposed to be played, that I've ever seen for the Lakers play thus far this season. Hey, man. Basic shit works, okay? Period. It works. And so I was very impressed by that fact. They were actually, like I said, moving the ball. They weren't staying stagnant and waiting for AD or Bron to beat the defense one-on-one or AR. This is by far the most impressive win. I was thoroughly impressed by their ball movement. And so, and I'll get into Coach Ham and everything because I know people want to blame him for everything. So this just goes to show you, man, that when the Lakers put their effort, heart, energy, hat on, and they come to compete and they come to win, they can go toe to toe with just about any team, man, and they give themselves a great opportunity to win. There's no way that a team like this, consisting of the same players, start out 40 games into the season 19-21. It doesn't make sense. They were exactly at the same place last year, so we know Russ is not the problem. As most fans wanted to, especially the Bron fans, they wanted to blame Russ, and the Clippers are doing well right now, so he's on that team, right? This was a problem when Frank Vogel was the head coach in terms of the effort and energy, the lack thereof with the Lakers playing defense and things of that nature. We can blame the rotations. That's fine. I'm not going to say I disagree with that. But the bigger problem has always been the Lakers' lack of effort, heart, and energy, period. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde effect. It can't be inconsistent like that, and that's been their biggest problem this season, last season up to the trade. I mean, it was the same rookie head coach for the naysayers, and I'm not defending Darvin Ham. I'm just looking at both sides of the coin here. The naysayer said that it's Darvin Ham's fault, but that was the same rookie head coach with the same issues in terms of rotations, etc., that outcoached Grizzlies head coach, outcoached Kerr, and got the team to the Western Conference Finals after the trade. So you're telling me the same coach is the problem now? It's the players, clearly. After the IST, the end-season tournament, LeBron and them, they were focused on trying to get that, extra money and go to Vegas, etc. Their focus was in the wrong place. That's the problem, or it was a problem, and it still is to a degree up till tonight. But when you have players focus on that type of shit, and they were 14-9, with Cam Reddish in and Taurean Prince and LeBron at the point guard position. So again, this is again, we can go back to Darvin Ham saying it's his fault, but they were at 14-9, on top like 5 in the West or whatever. Now, we're about 11-ish or 12 right now, with Utah taking over the 10th spot for the play-in. So I think we're out of the play-in. They won tonight. So we shouldn't be in this position. My whole point is that the players' focus and lack thereof, and the commitment to defense and buy-in is coming from the players. Clearly, it's not coming from the coach. If you need a head coach to motivate you, then that's an issue. You should be as an elite athlete already automatically self-motivated. Myself as a former athlete, I never needed my coach to motivate me. I don't need my coach to fucking have me compete, tell me how to compete, things like that. I wanted to compete because I wanted to win. I played to win, and the Lakers should play to win, and they played to win tonight against OKC, and that's why they fucking won. So it's just things like that, Laker Nation, that is gonna get the team, no matter what coach it is, that's gonna get the team into hot water if they don't change shift their mentality. Tonight, their mentality shifted. Whether it's the trade deadline, shout out to Coach Ham. I think it comes actually shout out to the front office. If we being 100, we keep it in the stack. I'm sure it came from upstairs. I'm sure they told Darvin Ham, Taurean Prince, which he played 31 minutes tonight, but he shouldn't even ended the game. Which that's, like I said, I see both sides of the coin. I have no dog in the race in terms of who I like, Darvin Ham or the players. But when Taurean Prince is getting 31 minutes and he's putting up 3 points or whatever, and he's shooting better, props to him on that. But there's no way that he should be finishing the game when Vando's doing good defensively. This is one of Vando's better games, especially in the facilitating aspect. The Lakers had like 31 fucking assists as a team. The best flawless basketball I've seen them in terms of schematics offensively. They were actually in cohesion together. They were moving the ball, bodies. The offense was not really stagnant as much. They had turnovers, about 17, I believe. Bron and D'Lo as point guards, or guards had, 5 turnovers apiece, but it was mostly from trying to do the right things. It wasn't really stagnation, major stagnation. They had a little bit of it, but just to see the flow, the ball movement was quicker. Guys are moving more purposeful, more intentional. They're playing more intentionally tonight, offensively and defensively. I really love the Laker Nation. That's how they have to play going forward, man. And I was impressed with that, but Taurean Prince, again, should not, he was food on defense. He shouldn't have not been in the game. Rui Hachimura was playing well off the bench, and Vando. So the favoritism on Darvin Ham, I'm glad he's out of the lineup. I hope he stays out of the lineup. And Taurean Prince, and when Cam Reddish comes back, I think he should obviously be off the bench as well. So the favoritism shit, and I said this on social media. I've said this in spaces and stuff like that in Twitter, aka X. That the favoritism of players to get them to sign for a lower amount, because Taurean could have probably got $8 million, but he signed for the biannual exception at 4.5. We cannot be making promises to players. We're the fucking Lakers, and we got to run this ball club as a business, not as a fucking high school drama club of who we like and who the clique shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's got to go out the window, right? So with Taurean, we can tell him, yo, man, look. We want you, we think you can contribute as a main piece. You help the Timberwolves. I feel like you help us, but you're going to have to earn your minutes. This cannot be a favoritism shit, because it's got to be a production thing. We're the Lakers. We got to have production, and we got to have production towards championships. And so if Taurean's not providing that championship level role player impact on the court, he's got to come off the court, and you got to put Vando, Rui, etc., guys like that in more often. So that's something that they need to address with Darvin Ham. I think they did. The lineup change with AR and D'Lo, I think they obviously, like D'Lo has been saying, AR has been saying, they're in sync. They're friends. They know how each other plays. They can play well off one another. My issue, of course, is that the 3 playmakers, too many chefs in the kitchen type of thing in the same lineup, and plus the defensive aspect when it comes to playing against higher elite nuanced teams. We've seen that versus Denver, etc., when AR and D'Lo were food. And that's my problem going forward. They may work offensively, but defensively is the issue. So I like the fact that we're going back to what worked in the Western Conference, but we still need adjustments going forward. More big depth, more wing depth, wings that actually don't disrupt things offensively, and they can actually produce on both ends of the floor. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I like the lineup shifting. I think it's optimal based off of offensively, and hopefully D'Lo and AR can at least provide some serviceable defense going forward. But I'm not going to really get my hopes up because again, the Lakers, and I'm not trying to be a downer, so to speak. But we've seen this type of shit where the Lakers go up and down, up and down, up and down. They have no identity. they have no culture, so they don't establish a sense of urgency because they don't have no foundation, like I talked about last video, and that's the problem. So for me to get excited about a win against a good team and act like this, this is a shift, don't trade anybody, I can't really say that. I can't definitively. I'm not strongly convinced as a person that's evidence based. I have to be strongly convinced about something, and I'm not strongly convinced yet because the evidence of the Lakers being a elite team or a good team to make me think that is not there. And so I hope it gets there. And, of course, I want the best for the Lakers, but I have to be objective and unbiased as a fan. Student of the game first, Laker fan second. And that's always been my mantra going forward as a person that is an evaluator and speaks my mind about the game, especially about the Lakers. And so, we'll see what happens. I just hope that this is a turning point for the Lakers 40 games in. At this point, Darvin Ham should have realized the lineup. That's on him too, for sure. But the Lakers should have obviously brought the energy that they played with tonight against OKC. So we'll see what happens going forward. I think AR and D'Lo are out to prove something against Darvin Ham. They played well tonight together. And hopefully, again, we can build off this momentum and keep going forward and make that shift like we did last season when we made the trade. So we'll see what happens. But they played well tonight, man. I thought LeBron was moving well without the ball, picking the spots. I think D'Lo saved them down the stretch, man, to be honest. D'Lo was hitting big shots. He saved a 5-point or whatever it was swing, I think, somewhere around there. When LeBron turned it over, he ended up stealing it back. So, it's things like that. I thought D'Lo played one of his best games. He was moving the ball very well, head on the swivel, head up. Kind of missed AD a couple times, but nevertheless, he was trying to do the right thing and feed players. He was going into his action quicker, posting up smaller post players to create mismatches for OKC, so they had to collapse, and that's how the Lakers were getting points in the paint and playing inside out, and that's how the Lakers have to play. So I was happy that D'Lo properly this game, one of the best games I see him dictate tempo and also put pressure on the defense, not just dribbling out on the perimeter, but getting penetration in the inside or getting closer to the basket. So I like the fact that they were doing that, and D'Lo and Brown were reading each other well. Everybody was in sync this game, the vast majority of the game. So I like what I saw. AD, man, playing like an MVP candidate, playing like a defensive player of the year candidate, man. Cooked Chet Holmgren, man. Cooked him. He had to double him all the time. Like it's clear Chet Holmgren can't guard him. So AD's skilled. He can get into the body, boom, back him down, score over him. He can shoot, bring him out on the perimeter, and so AD's got it all, man. AD's got it all, and I'm just hoping we don't waste this, man. We gotta at least get to the Western Conference Finals or above, man. Let's not waste a AD masterpiece of a season, man. When he's been at his healthiest, other than the bubble. I just hope the Lakers do right by him, man. We'll see how it goes, but he played well tonight, man. He looked great. Let's get to the player stats. Laker Nation, AD 27 points, 1 block, 5 assists, 15 rebounds, man. He's playing like a fucking monster, man. For about a month plus straight. It's already been like close to 2 months he's been playing this way, averaging like close to 30 and 10 basically. LBJ, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, did really good picking spots. Like I said, the turnovers 5 between him and D'Lo. I think it was in the right. They had their heart in the right place and they were trying to do the right things. They weren't really forcing things as much. Just a couple mishaps, but they can clean that up next game. D'Lo, man, 14 points, correction, 7 assists, and 2 steals. I thought D'Lo was pretty active, like we've seen him in the regular season to start. I thought he was pretty active in passing lanes and trying to shoot the gap and put pressure on the defense. And the ball handlers, we got to see that more. At least him try to put effort in to pressing up on the ball handlers. He has AD back there, he has Vando back there, so he's got to be able to do that. Our players on the perimeter got to pressure more, even if they get blown by. The whole point is to have some type of resistance and not have opposing perimeter players play with comfort and get into rhythm. You got to disrupt that rhythm. So AR 15 points. 7 assists, one of his better games, and with his backcourt mate and D'Angelo Russell. Hopefully they can find that groove like they did in the playoff run that we had. So we'll see how that goes going forward. And then Rui Hachimura, man, solid off the bench, 12 points, 3 rebounds, and then C Wood, man, once again needs more minutes off the bench, 11 points, 3 blocks, and 7 rebounds. So I thought the Lakers, the key stats for me were Chet Holmgren 9 points. They only shot 24 threes. Like, they've been jacking up 30 and above usually gets them to where it makes them more prone to losing from what I've seen. So props to the Lakers, man. Just take less 3-point shots. Try to keep it between, I don't know, 18 to 23 a game. That would be solid right there. Don't go above that. They held OKC, a top 2 seed and offensive juggernaut, to 41.7% from the field, and then 30% Laker Nation from 3. The Lakers did a really good job putting pressure on defense, team rotation, helping one another, playing for one another like they're fucking supposed to, man. And that's the exciting part in terms of just that ingredient right there is all they need going forward, man, for Energy Hard, playing for one another and buying into one another. If they're not going to buy into Coach Ham, they got to buy into one another. And they did this game, so I was happy to see that. And then the most impressive thing for me was the 31 assists for the Lakers. They were moving the ball, sharing the sugar, trying to get each other involved, making the right reads. The offense was really solid tonight, schematically, man. It's one of the best I've seen, actually the best I've seen overall. They had at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures against an elite offensive team and overall elite team in the West and OKC, man. So props to the Lakers. And then 21 fast break points. That's their bread and butter, is defense and getting out on the break, and then playing in the inside. That's it. That's their identity. That's the secret to winning, which is not a secret. It's a fucking obvious thing. They should be playing that way. And then 12 fouls. They don't foul much. When they don't foul much and put teams at the line, especially with a player as crafty as SGA, keeping them off the line is key to not helping him to get rid of them and things like that. He was favoring his leg, but still, nevertheless, they did a pretty good job on defensive coverage versus him, but he's going to get his. So the point is, Chet Holmgren, they're two-headed monster. I mean, shit, they're just a really good young team, man. They are the shining beacon of building through the draft and being patient. So props to their organization and props to Coach D. They got something really special going on there. It might take a few years, but I think they're going to be a team in the West to be reckoned with. So any OKC fan that sees this, be happy about the future, man, because it's very, very bright. But yeah, it was a good game, Laker Nation. Whether this is trying to increase the trade value of AR and D'Lo for DeJounte Murray, which is rumored, or Zach LaVine, whatever it is, the Lakers, going forward, they have still questions. They have question marks. They still need to address D'Lo solid. They still need to address point guard or perimeter defense, especially at the guard position. They need consistent guard play going into the playoffs and going forward from here on out. Can AR and D'Lo do that? Perhaps. We'll see. D'Lo's a regular season player, so that'll be my question going forward, but he's on expiring as well. I would still look to trade him. I'm not going to be, fool's gold with the one game. If AR, if we can get either, Bogdanovich, obviously DeJounte Murray, and Sadiq Bey, I would probably do that. Bey, Capella, and DeJounte Murray, we will probably have to consider trading AR. For me, he's not untouchable. I don't get attached to players, but I prefer to trade him for a star, but it's just not Zach LaVine because Laker Nation, the education process I got to say to you guys is that when it comes to the cap, the Lakers, any trade will hard cap them. So they would only have $43 million to send out in a trade. If we go for Zach LaVine at $40 million, we only have $3 million to work with. So the better trade will be DeJounte Murray because of the fact that he only makes $18 million this year and then $30 million next year. So it will give us an opportunity to have more pieces, and we need to improve at the guard position and perimeter defense. And two-way, we need more two-way players. We need another center and more center depth with Clint Capella, somebody like that. And then also we need forward depth, whether it's Sadiq Bey or Hunter. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, we can't get all of them. Perhaps Bogdanovich will be great because he's similar to AR and how he plays. So we'll see what's going forward. That's my preferred trade. Or, obviously with Chicago with perhaps Vucevic, DeRozan, and Caruso. That'd be my second aim for a trade if the Lakers are going to do a trade. Obviously, as of today, the 15th, all our players, pretty much other than Vaniel, I think, obviously AD, etc. But everybody that's outside of AD and Bron is, to me, touchable. They're the only two untouchable in this roster. So everybody pretty much has become trade eligible. Rui, AR, D'Lo, etc. for their new contracts they signed. And so if I'm the Lakers, those two trades I'll be looking for between the Hawks and the Bulls We got to get legitimate two-way players. We got to get more center depth. And we probably need an additional actual two-way wing, a legitimate two-way wing, because Cam Reddish and Torian Prince are not legitimate and they're too inconsistent. So those are the areas I think we need to address: is consistent guard play, two-way players, and center depth. That'll be my three problems or problem areas that I would try to address during this trade deadline. So anyway, man, a good win for the Lakers. Hopefully, they can keep this momentum going forward rather, instead of going backwards. And they'll revert back to the team that they've been accustomed playing up to for the last like month or whatever, or however long it's been, since the in-season tournament. So, or after rather. So we'll see how it goes, Laker Nation. Sound off in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts overall on the game. Do you guys think we still need to make any trades? What would you like to see going forward? Who is your level of who would you put at the top of the level of blame up till now? Why are the Lakers underachieving, things of that nature? So I would like to hear what you guys have to say about this and just overall your thoughts on the game and going forward. So let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Laker Nation.